Welcome to a special edition of Gospel Truth with Andrew Wommack. Today, Andrew and Jamie interview Robert and Elizabeth Murin about their spectacular musical production, The Heart of Christmas. And now, here's Andrew.
Welcome to our Monday's broadcast of the Gospel Truth. And today I am so blessed to have my wife Jamie with us here on the set. She won't do this for me, but for Elizabeth, she would do anything.
Yes.
And we have Robert and Elizabeth Murin with us. They've been on with us before. And also, before we get into interviewing them, let me just say that we are in our lodge at the sanctuary in Woodland Park, Colorado. We are still in transition, moving between our Colorado Springs office, and we have a brand new place up here in Woodland Park, and it's still being fixed up. And so this is a temporary deal for us, but it's just awesome. You're going to love it. And so Robert and Elizabeth, they have been with us before, but Robert is a Norwegian. Elizabeth was born in Honduras. Mm-hmm. I finally got that right. And she's got
half
quite
Cuban,
the testimony.
half Norwegian.
Yes. And anyway, maybe we just ought to start real quickly. We don't want to make the whole program on this, but how did we connect? How did God put all of us together?
We had been missionaries in Israel for 10 years. We were working with musicals, and we started working on a film. And we started listening to you, and you rocked our world, and we really got so inspired by your teachings. And then you usually talk about, why can't people stick to the Bible when they tell stories from the Bible? The stories are so rich and they are so good, well written. Why do they have to invent other things? So I just thought, wow, it would be a great thing to have if you and your ministry could help me make sure that I really stick to the truth and to the important message. So that's how we contacted you, we met you, gave you DVDs of what we've done before.
And when I got your DVD of The Covenant, which is a musical that Robert and Elizabeth put together when they were missionaries in Israel, because you couldn't preach the gospel. Well, there were restrictions on preaching the gospel, so you used music to do it. And it was just so awesome. It was so powerful that I remember asking if you would come here to Woodland Park. This was in 2014, the year that we first moved into the barn. And I said, would you come and put on that musical? And you did. And I think, what was it? In just 2 weeks' time, you did all of the rehearsals?
Yeah, we came with our 4 kids, and we had 35 suitcases of costumes with us. And we moved into this barn, this building here, actually, this lodge. And yes, we spent 2-3 weeks of intense rehearsing with your people, with the students. And we set up the first performance of God With Us.
And you took a lot from The Covenant, the musical that you had done in Israel, but you added to it more about Jesus. I said, I'd like more of Jesus in it. And of course, because it was an outreach to the Jews, you kind of snuck up on them, but I wanted to just put a lot about Jesus. So you combined the covenant with the new covenant, put them together, and it's what we call God With Us. And we now have a DVD set on that. Jamie is one of the leads in it. She's the woman that touched the hem of the garment. And this is just powerful. But anyway, that's God With Us. After you did that, I asked you if you would just come and stay here and start the creative arts department and start training people. So you guys have actually moved to Woodland Park now. Such a blessing to us. It's been great. And anyway, we got quite a history, and they are doing so many things with the Holy Land experience in Orlando. Elizabeth has been given control of that by TBN. And a lot of the God With Us is being performed in the Holy Land.
Yes,
so,
all of it.
How's that going?
It's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity. I usually say, it's not me, it's us being there, because everything we're able to do here, we can take it there. And it's amazing. It's a full park with many theaters, big and small, where we just have the Word of God come to life. It's wonderful.
And when you say Christian and musical in the same sentence, most people don't think those things fit because it's really poor quality most of the time. But this Holy Land experience, the fact that TBN turned it over to you, is a testimony to the quality of this. You've also had people on Broadway that have talked to you about they would love to have you bring it to Broadway, and you've got a film going in Hollywood. And I mean, the reason I'm saying all this is to show you this is high quality stuff, and we're going to be playing little parts of the Heart of Christmas. So everything we've talked about up until this time is the original musical that they did when they first moved here, God With Us. But that was so successful that we also put together a Christmas musical, and that's what we're talking about now. And we specifically started earlier this year so that if you like this, and we're going to play little pieces of it, you will be able to order the DVD and the book. You can be my Vanna White. She doesn't talk much, but she does at home. But on television, it's because I don't ever give her a chance to talk.
There you go.
All right. So anyway, this is the DVD, The Heart of Christmas. It is awesome. And this is the book that this entire musical is built around. So why don't you give a little bit of background? What is the storyline on this entire musical, The Heart of Christmas?
The Heart of Christmas is the story of a woman called Ruth, and Jamie is Ruth, a beautiful Ruth. This woman lives in the year 2000, and she has this crazy family like most of us have. And she's trying to find a way of giving them the true heart of Christmas because they've lost it along the way. So she will start telling the story of her life. So she will take us on a journey through time from 2000 to the 40s.
Once upon a time,
where Ruth was brought to America from Europe, from World War II.
And she had to be separated from her parents because of the Germany and the war.
And then she was adopted by an American mom and brought to America. And we see her the first Christmas.
So beautiful.
The first time she sees a Christmas tree.
What's that?
Because she has never seen it before.
Ruth, darling, have you never seen a Christmas tree before? Christmas tree? What's it for? Of course, this is her first Christmas. Where do we start?
Why don't you let her open up one of the presents? How about that great big one on top?
Yes, wonderful idea, Addie. Ruth, bring me that big box on top. Open it. It's for you.
For me? But it's not my birthday.
I know, darling. But open it anyway.
What is it?
This, my dearest, is the heart of Christmas.
And then the parents give her a gift.
A book?
And the gift is this book, The Servant King. So the girls start reading the story of the fourth wise man. And throughout the musical, we will meet her, you know, when she's in her 20s, when she's in her 40s, when she's in her 60s, and we will see her family's life from Christmas to Christmas, and we will see how this book impacts the family through the things they are going through. So, yeah, it's a beautiful story.
So there's actually two stories going. You've got the story of Ruth and her family and her trying to get them back to realizing what the true heart of Christmas is. Yes. But in the process, they're reading this book.
Yes.
And this book is about the fourth wise man, which is Robert. He plays Zargon.
So when the family opened this book in the various generations,
many years ago, in the ancient land of Persia, lived a kind and noble prince, Zargon, with his faithful servant, Mustafa.
There are some stories that should never be forgotten. This one, the one I am about to tell you, is such a story. Yes, this story has been told by others more knowledgeable and wiser than I, but I have an advantage over them. I was there.
They start reading in the living room, and suddenly the transformation happens.
That's why I, Mustafa, humble servant to the Achaemenid family, will paint for you some of the most wondrous scenes in the history of mankind. Heavens, that sounded rather good, don't you think? It all begins with my master's father, Darius the Ninth, and his love of the ancient Jewish scrolls. He believed that God would one day come to earth disguised as a man to bring salvation to all, a Messiah whose coming was close at hand. It was an unusually cold winter's night. The crystal lake was almost frozen as a rare dusting of snow lay upon the frost-bitten earth, and Master Darius suddenly fell very ill. Just a boy of 12, Zargon refused to leave his father's side. The dying man pulled his son close and said, "My son, find my king. Bring him your gifts and worship him. Promise me, my boy, you will find my king." That night, Zargon made the promise that drives this tale. "I will, father. I will find your king." In the years following, my master Zargon found consolation in studying the ancient scrolls. He gathered the wisest men in all the land to the palace to study the prophecies. One day, the wise men arrived at our beautiful palace by the lake and saw a sign in the night sky that was to change everything. And so, let the story begin.
The transformation happens on stage, and we go back to the epic biblical era where we see then what we call the fourth wise man. We start in Persia with Zargon, this elaborate Persian prince, and he has a quest that his father has given him, that he needs to seek and find the one true God. And they discover this star, and they gather the wise men to find this meaning, and they understand this is the star of the King of the Jews. So they set out on a journey to go and find him. So that's the beginning of that part of the story.
And along the way, you were delayed because of the birth of a son. You couldn't leave your wife. So the other wise men went. They're the ones that are in the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But you, years later, begin your quest. And the whole story, you got these two stories woven together. They will read a portion of this, and there will be songs that illustrate it and all of the things that they go through, and then they'll come back to the modern day, and then they'll talk about the 40s and the 50s and the 60s up to the 80s and stuff. So anyway, it's really neat the way that it's done. And what it does, it weaves popular Christmas music.
Yes.
That is very popular. I mean, some of the most favorite ones. And then it weaves in all of these songs that you have written just special for this. And the one on I Found My King, we will wait and do that towards the end of the week. But I tell you what, that's awesome. It's hard to watch that without just tearing up. And then they end with Oh Holy Night, the three tenors singing that. And I tell you, this is the best thing. I think we could compete with anybody. Our three tenors are just awesome. So anyway, that's a little bit about the storyline. Let's play some of the music. You need to introduce it because you're the ones that wrote it and are more familiar with it than I am.
So, yeah, and you're right. I think that, you know, I love epic and I love Bible stories. And for me, the Bible is just the book, the story. So I am totally committed to bring the stories of the Bible alive. And this story of the servant king is not a Bible story, but it's a sort of the fourth wise man. But he gets to meet, because he comes later, so he gets to meet the shepherds and hear their story. He gets to meet many of the people that met Jesus. So we get the story from behind the scenes, and I just love that, because how many times have we seen and read the nativity, and sometimes we go blind. It's like when you're admiring a mountain and you're standing, 5 centimeters or whatever you call it in this country, you just see a little piece of gray stone, you forget the greatness of it. So anyway, so I just love to see the stories from other sides, because it gives you the perspective of what it was instead of just freezing and seeing the same all the time.
Well, it makes it fresh, and especially the way you wrote about Zargon, the way that he went through, and he had compassion for people along the way, and all of the gifts that he was reserving to give to the king, he wound up giving to other people.
Yes.
And how many years was it later when he finally found the Messiah?
He got sick. He cared for the lepers, and he got leprosy himself, and he got stuck in this colony for 30 years. And his faithful servant that had returned to Persia comes back now with the son that was born early. He's now a grown man, and together they then encounter one of the boys in the leper colony is among the 10 that Jesus healed. So he comes running back and say, "I found your king, Zargon." And then he understands that he has one last gift for the king. So he sets out, in his weakness and he's dying, but he's going to find the king.
And bring my gift, but what can I give to the king?
And the sad thing is, he feels like he's a total failure because of all of the gifts that he could have given the king. He gave it to other people, but that is the heart of Christmas.
Yes.
It's giving.
Yes.
It's not receiving and stuff. And as the story plays out, and when you come to the scene about where Zargon begins to start singing, "I found my king," man, it is powerful.
And when he's healed, and for me the thing is, this story is so relevant today. How many people are looking for the king, and sometimes we just look for the king in wrong places, and we expect him to be. That's why Israel didn't recognize Jesus, because they had this fixed idea of how he would be. And it's the same with this Zargon, and it just gives you the understanding of who really Jesus is and what he came for. And the heart of Christmas is God gave his son so that we would live and be his children. But we wanted to hear some music.
Yeah, before this first day's program is over, we need to give them a little sample of it. So what would you like to...
I think we should maybe in every era, because we meet this family and we follow them throughout the generations, and in every era we get the music, the Christmas music of that time. And one of my favorite moments is What Child Is This? That is the radio program in the 40s. And then there we have, I love this song. I didn't know this song, but I would sing this to my babies since they were little to put them to sleep. Na, 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 na. And I would just, and I didn't know which song it was, but now I know What Child Is This? And we have Renan, your granddaughter, she's Mary, and I have to say, oh, she blew me away. She's so beautiful, and she did so wonderful.
And for those of you who don't know the story, our son actually died and was raised from the dead, but after 4 hours, maybe up to 5 hours, being in a morgue and stripped naked in a cooler with a toe tag on, and he was raised from the dead, and the next year is when Renan was born. And now she is Mary in this clip. So let's watch this, and it'll give you a little sample about some of the music that is in this.
The angel Gabriel was sent from God unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a virgin engaged to a man named Joseph of the house of David. And the virgin's name was Mary. And the angel came to her and said, Hail, thou highly favored, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. And when she saw him, she was troubled at his sayings, and cast in her mind what manner of salutation this should be. And the angel said unto her, Fear not, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And behold, you shall conceive in your womb, and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Jesus.
My soul will magnify the Lord, my spirit will rejoice in God, my Savior. He has considered me the least among all men.
pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem. And so it was, that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger.
What child is this who laid to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping? This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. So bring him incense, gold, and myrrh, from peasant kings who own him, the King of kings, salvation brings, let loving hearts enthrone him. Praise, praise the song on high, the Virgin sings, the Lamb arrive. Joy, joy, for Christ is born, the babe, the Son of
Man, that was awesome. And you know, one of the very first things that happens in the story of Zargon is you are together with the three wise
Yes.
men. Let me say that I recognize that the scripture doesn't say there was three wise men, but that's what tradition says.
Yes.
So we just went with it.
Yes.
So anyway, we aren't making a doctrine out of this. But Zargon is the fourth wise man. But one of the things that I like is when you start singing "The Time Has Come."
Yes.
The time has come, what we've been waiting for so long is happening before our eyes. The universe declares that a king will be born tonight. The star is shining brighter than it ever has over the land of Israel. This Jewish prophecy was in an ancient scroll. A child will be born by a virgin in the village of Bethlehem. His name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Prince of Peace.
I will find my king.
Join us again tomorrow as Andrew and Jamie continue their interview with Robert and Elizabeth Murin.
Sometimes a gift
Once upon a time, many years ago, in the ancient land of Persia,
can change your life forever.
I would like to encourage you to get this Heart of Christmas DVD, 2 hours. And what did you say about this?
I said this will become your go-to Christmas show at Christmas with your family. And we always watch It's a Wonderful Life.
Absolutely.
But this is the true It's a
That's
Wonderful.
right.
Today, Andrew's offering you the Heart of Christmas DVD for a gift of $25 or more. Also available is the Servant King book, which includes 4 audio discs that contain the audiobook and songs from the production. This book is available for a gift of $49 or more. Celebrate the heart of Christmas from generation to generation.
Oh, come thou day, spring, come and cheer. I'll be home for Christmas.
Generation to generation, one family searching for the heart of Christmas.
We want people to experience the true heart of Christmas, and I believe that this book and this DVD will really give the people you give it to the true meaning for this season.
And it's not just a musical that is on a DVD, but the core of the whole story is this book, The Servant King.
You can get both the Heart of Christmas DVD and the Servant King book when you order the Heart of Christmas package. This valuable package would be the perfect Christmas gift to share with your friends and family. Get this package today for just $59. Go to our website at awmi.net or call our helpline Monday through Friday from 4:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Our helpline number is 719-635-1111. To write us, use the address on your screen. We appreciate your generosity and hope to hear from you today. Also, mark your calendars to join us for the upcoming Heart of Christmas live production in Woodland Park, Colorado, December 7th through the 9th.
In our third-year School of Creative Arts, you will develop the skills to succeed in the entertainment industry and the character to keep you there. Receive practical training in acting on film and stage.
Everybody has a story. Everybody has something inside of them that is just so powerful, and that's going to be just as powerful to somebody else. And this is the school that's going to bring it out.
Ignite your vision and take your mountain. For more information on our third-year School of Creative Arts, go to charisbiblecollege.org/3rd year.